Hi everyone. Today we will talk about chapter 8, stock valuation, as you see here. Let's start. Let's start with what's different between common shares valuation and the bonds. There's simply three main differences. It's not fixed, no maturity, non-promised cash flow. Next, as we know, to generate capital, we can take a debt or use equity. The example for a debt is the bonds, as we said in chapter 7. But equity can be stuff like shares, investing in shares. That's how you generate capital using equity. Next, here LDC, we have this equation. It's actually not equation. What this formula shows us is it shows that the price of the stock of stock today equals the present value of dividend for the following years. Okay. Now that's the first growth. The first type of stock valuation. There's four types. Zero growth, I think, is the easiest. The equation you see, it's B0, which is the price of this year, equals D over R, which is dividend over rate of return. Quick example: if you have a dividend that's $10 and rate of return which is 20%, simply just take the $10 over the 20%, which is equal $20 per share. Now you know that if the price is less than 50 or 50, it's good to buy it. More than that, no, if it's more than that or equals to 50, that's overpriced. It's not good to buy it as an organization. Second, we have constant growth. In constant growth, there is a dividend exists and constant growth rate. There is a constant growth rate every year. Here, here the equation for to get the price. Price equal D0, which is D of the year before, times 1 plus G. Here G shows us the growth rate over rate of return minus the growth rate, which equals D1 over R minus G. How did we get D1? D1, which is the D1 is D0 times 1 plus G. If we're getting price for the price for third year or fourth year, let's say we are getting the price for the fourth year, so we need to get the D4. We are getting the price for year 3, so we need to get the D4. How we get the D4? By getting the D3. Here as you see, we use the D0 because we were using D1, so we get the D0, the one before, times 1 plus the growth rate. That's how we get the D1. A quick example: if dividend of ABC organizations equal 3, at the third year the growth rate equals 8% and the required rate equals 20%. What is the price of the share at the fourth year? First step, we need to get the D5 because we are getting the price for the fourth year. So D5 equals D4 plus 1 plus G, which is equal $3.54. Second step, we need to calculate the B4 of D5, which is the price. So we get D5 over rate of return minus the growth rate, which is equal $88. Very simple. Next, we have the variable gross dividend. Thirdly, we have the variable growth rate dividend. The variable growth rate dividend, it have two stages to get the price. The first stage is to get the PV, which is the present value for every dividend separately. Then we calculate the price. Let's see a quick example here. We have this example. It says to us the D1 dividend for the first year, and the D2 and D3, and then after 3 years, it tells us that the required rate of the required required return rate equals $10, 10%, and the growth rate equals 5%. In the step one, we got 1 over BV1, 1 over 1 plus 10%, which is the required return rate, square 1 because it's first year, and 1 here in the beginning, which is the dividend as it's told us. And we do the same thing for each of the 3 years. Then we get the BV, and then we get the total. In the step 2, we need first to get the D4, because we are getting the price for the third year. So we get here the D4 by getting the D3 that we have it here was a dividend of third year 2.5 times 1 plus G, which is the growth rate 5%. As we got it here, $2.625. We use it to get the price of the shares at the third year. We use it to get the price, which we get that number that we just got here, which is D4. Then we divide it by 10%, the return rate minus the growth rate. So 10% minus 5%, which is equal $52.5. We get the after that we get the PV, the present value for that price. We'll get 52.5 over 1 plus 10% square 3, because third year, which is equal 39.4. We get the total BV, which is 39.4 plus the BV of the beginning 3 years, which is 4.8, which gives us the total BV, which is $44.2. Last, here we have the zero dividend companies. That's very simple. That's when the company doesn't give a dividend. Simply we just we get it by the earnings per share times the price of earning, the price to earnings. How? We need we have to get the EPS, the earning per share. How we get it? We get it by net income of the company over the average outstanding share.